BBC Unplugged started with a Facebook post that I had on my page where I asked a question on forgiveness. And I think that post got over like 100 responses. And as I was reading through, I realized that there are a lot of people dealing with forgiveness issues, including myself. And so I had a conversation with Pastor Graham about that post, and out of that conversation is where BBC Unplugged came from, because we realized that people need a forum where they could talk about some of the everyday Christian struggles that we really don't have the opportunity to talk about. So BBC Unplugged was birthed out of that question. And Pastor Graham and myself, we decided, why not, let's just make it a call-in show so people could call with their questions and we have real conversation about it with a biblical basis. So that's how we started Unplugged, BBC Unplugged. Well, we chose BBC Unplugged because, several years ago there was MTV Unplugged. And the whole premise behind MTV Unplugged was, artists came in and they plugged out all the instruments and they sang against either a cappella or acoustic music. And so when we talked about BBC Unplugged, it was literally stripping away all the noise that surrounds biblical teaching. That includes people's opinions and all that stuff. And so we decided to strip away all the stuff and get down to the basic word, down to the bare bones, nothing around it, Word of God. And so that's why we came up with BBC Unplugged. That's how the name came about. The goal for BBC Unplugged, I think we started out wanting people to open up and just have a conversation about many of the things that we talk about in church, but we talk about it at such a high level, it kind of like goes over our head. We talk about it at such a high level that a lot of people don't know how to apply it. I guess the application is the whole basis for BBC Unplugged. So our goal is to start the dialogue, start the conversation, start Christians or even those who are potentially thinking of becoming a Christian, start the thought process that maybe this is how this would look today. This is how I would handle it, a regular person walking down the street. And so the whole goal of BBC Unplugged is to get people out of the mindset or out of the traditional mindset, if you will, of how things are supposed to line up, but to get them into thinking for themselves with the guidance of God, the Bible, on how to apply these biblical concepts to their everyday life. So our goal is to just kind of free up the mind of the Christian and apply biblical standard to today so that we could become better Christians and do a better job at being Christ-like. Hey, what's up? It's LaLa, co-host.
Yep. Right on time. That's how that works. That's how the magic gets made.
Hey, it's LaLa, co-host BBC Unplugged. You can join us first and third Mondays of every month. We're talking about relevant topics. Follow us on Facebook. BBC Unplugged is our page. Follow us on Twitter, BBC Unplugged, and our YouTube channel, where you'll find all of our shows that we've done so far. BBC Unplugged. Our email, bbcunplugged@gmail.com. I think you got the message. BBC Unplugged. Follow us, like us, hit us on YouTube. Just go ahead. BBC Unplugged. This is LaLa.